What's going on, Falcon fans? This is Undo coming back at you with another video. And guess what, guys? The Atlanta Falcons have got on the win column for the season. That's right, they're 1-1, and they put on a really promising performance for this team moving forward. And the question is, can they build on it? We'll talk about that during the show. But guys, the Atlanta Falcons, you know, defense shined in prime time, right? I think we should have prime time games all the time because then, like, our team play better when it's prime time for some reason. And then, like I said, Bijan proved that he's him, right? We're going to talk about all that today, guys. But it's Victory Monday. You know, when we win, right? It was a really good weekend for Georgia sports, right? You look at it, but when we win, this week feels so much better, and we can come out and we can actually talk about some good things. So I love the fact that we was able to get it done this week, and prepare for another division round opponent. To see can we continue to build on the momentum that we created last night on Sunday Night Football. So, guys, with that being said, if you have not already, go ahead and please subscribe to the channel. Please hit that notification bell so you're not dropping another video. Please hit the like button, as I know you guys are here to talk about. Then please share my video throughout the YouTube universe so more people can come here and talk about. That's right, these Atlanta Falcons. So, guys, let's get to the game two, right? Yeah, we're just 2 weeks into it, so can't get too high, can't get too low. Like I said last week, right? But you feel good today. You feel a whole lot better than you felt on last Monday when I came on here. But the game two recap. So let's go over the game stats for this team. First thing I like to do, guys, I go down to time of possession, right? Because being able to control the game, looking at the clock and see how much time possession. So the Atlanta Falcons was able to have the ball for 36 minutes in that game, right? Which is really impressive, right? So that means something was clicking for them. So they held the ball for 36 minutes in that game, kind of control the clock like they needed to. Um, they had 218 rushing yards, right? Right. So that's where you look at the clock control, control of the clock. You look at the rushing yards to go along with that. That's 218 rushing yards. They did give up 3 sacks, but that's kind of was expected, right? Going up against that vaunted Brian Flores, defensive scheme that he deploys out there, right? The Atlanta Falcons had a total of 63 plays to the Minnesota Vikings 43 plays. Total yards 226 yards to the 198 given up to the Minnesota Vikings. The passing yards was not that impressive, only 108 passing yards, but it was a kind of grind and pound game just going to this game. So, right, 19 first downs, 6 for 15 on third downs. Got to do better on that. We did attempt a fourth down and only 3 points in the game, punts in the game. So, overall, guys, when you look at the work, like I said, I always go to the time, the clock, um, time possession, which was huge for the Atlanta Falcons. They was able to control the clock. The Minnesota Vikings only had 2 red zone possessions. Look at 198 yards. They held um the Minnesota Vikings to rushing yards, 78 rushing yards, and some of those you can attribute those to the quarterback. So overall, man, the Atlanta Falcons the first 2 weeks just from a defense side of the ball. So this we're gonna start on the defense side. This week we're gonna start on the offense side. So you know we'll go about that in just a minute. But guys, it's you can't say enough about what you saw from this game, right? Impressed about the outcome of this game. I was a little worried. I'm not gonna lie, right? Because we was not able to put more points on the board. We control the clock. You look at the clock, but overall, we was not able to put points on the board because of what we was not able to do in the red zone. So, of course, that got to be fixed. But like I said, it's week 2, so you're building on week after week after week after week. Um, um, We did have one turnover in that game. Of course, you guys recall it was Drake London getting punched out. The linebacker made a great play, but Drake got to secure the ball. So overall, guys, pretty good game for Atlanta Falcons, and it's really something for them to build on. And honestly, the first 2 weeks is something for the Atlanta Falcons to build on. So let's go ahead and talk about um, the good from game two. So let's talk about the good, right? So the good things we've seen from game two is being able to establish a run, getting the run game going again, right? That was really huge, right? Really, really huge. So if we go back to my keys to victory, um, number one thing was to run the ball, right? My second thing was have good pass protection plan. Uh, it wasn't that good, right? So then be good on third down. So 1 out of 3 I take it, but we want to be at least get 2 out of 3. But 1 out of 3, run the ball, and we ran it to a tremendous high level. So I'm good about that, right? Look on the defensive side, we was able to stop the run, yes. We was able to contain the quarterback, yes. We was able to give up no explosive. We only gave up one explosive play that was at the end of the half, and then we capitalized on all our opportunities. So from a defensive standpoint, the Atlanta Falcons nailed my keys to victory pretty much every last one of them. They nailed them. They stopped the run. They contained the quarterback. Really no explosive plays, and they capitalized on opportunities. They did everything that you need to do. And like you said, guys, when you look at your keys and you put them out there, you can nail some of these keys. I think you're going to be very good. You look at the special teams; they gave no explosive. The special team was really special in this game, and they gained really a lot of good confidence in the kicking game. Our new kicker went 5 for 5, right? So it's nothing more you can ask for, guys. I thought Atlanta Falcons played a really good game in all 3 phases. Could have been better, but yes, but the good from the game, the takeaways is first of all, let's go and give ourselves a clap for our rookie, the 2025 rookie draft class, man. Just outstanding football from those guys. And they just starting, man. It just starting. So when we talk about the good, right? Let's just look at it from a micro level, right? Or micro level, right? Not a micro level. What I mean by that is we're gonna look at it from a 1,000-foot view, right? And so you look at Michael Penix. Let's start with the quarterback, right? He's only in his 5th start, right? He already looked like he had command of the offense. What's going on, EQ? He looked like he has command of the offense. Um, he does not put the ball in harm's way. Don't turn the ball over, right? Um, he's able to make plays when he need to be made, right? So that's just the quarterback. Look at the quarterback, right? So that's one thing. Look at the quarterback position, right? Look at the running back position, right? We got two-headed monsters. Both of those guys outstanding. I think Bijan had 22 carries. Tyler Algier had 16, right? They went for 218 yards. There's nothing you can say about that. We're talking about the second best rushing offense last year, right? They showed up again this yesterday. The guys was a running back. They pissed our offensive line off, and in game one, it was not able to execute. They executed magnificently in this second game, man. They just really did. Christian Lynch was all over the field. They was able to run the ball behind Bergeron and Jake Matthews as well. I just thought we even see Grand News again up, make sure he get a reach block, then come back and get the guy that's coming in trying to come down on Bijan, right? Just to put a body on it, then Bijan do. So, you know, that's on the offense side of the ball. Kyle Pitts looking like his old self again. All right. And of course, Mooney in London did not have a impact in this game like we wanted them to, but the rest of the guys did, man. It was just outstanding. So looking at the offensive side, that's the micro level. Looking at a young quarterback who's only hit 5th start, he's going to get better. That's one thing we do know. Quarterbacks tend to start to figure this thing out, and it seems like Michael Penix is just a level above, being just being that fifth start. So the more and more reps he get, the more and more he in his offense, the better he's going to get. It's just as simple as that. So Michael Penix, the offensive line, we're gonna running back. Kyle Pitts look like he's in back to his old self again. So those are the good things you like to see. Now we talk about that 2025 draft class, right? Um, on the defensive side of the ball, we saw what we have seen from Jalen Walker at Georgia, right? His ability to play the run has been outstanding. People don't look at that because you just think about sacks and things like that, but his ability to play the run, strong hands, being able to contain, he's been really been good at that. And then he was able to get his first sack of the season, right? That's you just can't take that away. The continuous pressures that we see from James Pierce Jr., right? He got a half a sack yesterday, but the pressure that he continually put on the quarterback, you can see it pretty much in and out snaps, right? He's really, you know, being disruptive. That's what he does. That's what he's been doing. And then you go to our two ball hawks in the back. They're living up to what we seen on film at the University of Oklahoma and the University of Notre Dame. We seeing both of those guys, just be in the right spots, make the big plays they need to make. Right? Billy Bowman almost had 2 interceptions. Um, Xavier Watts gambled on that last play, so that's the one explosive we did give up. He kind of was trying to make a play, trying to and yet again, JJ gave him a great double move, inside out move, and kind of outside in move, and then kind of got Xavier to bite on the going outside, right? So, but for the most part, Xavier Watts been playing lights out, man. Really has. So those 4 draft picks that the Atlanta Falcons took in 2025 draft, it just have been how outstanding. But the sweetest part about this whole thing is the draft picks from last year are starting to show their head as well, right? Look at guys like Rico Aurora, who had to sack him himself. Look at Brandon Douglas, who had to have a sack himself, right? That's what we're talking about. The youth, right? If you guys go back to a couple of my videos, I talked about the youthful movement. I didn't expect it to start to show ahead this early in the season. I really did not. I'm be honest with you guys, but the first 2 games of the season, you gotta think about it. Yes, the Atlanta Falcons lost the first game of the season, but guess what? Because they didn't win in the margins. They didn't take advantage of the opportunity they had. They dropped like 3 interceptions that game, right? They gave up 2 big plays. You know, um, where some really good safeties where they try to take advantage of opportunities, get a little bit too greedy, and Jesse got a little bit too greedy and gave up a touchdown. In the middle, it happens, right? But you want him to stay aggressive. You want that from Jesse. So sometimes you're gonna give up something like that because that's the way he play. He plays aggressive, and that's why he's able to make plays, right? It looked like Xavier Watts gonna be on the same mold, being able to doing that, but these young guys, man, the youth is outstanding, right? And then you got a guy like AJ Terrell who still is not, long in the tooth himself. Um, oh man, the addition of Divine Diablo has just been outstanding. Um, what else you can say about that? I, when you look at the guy like Divine Diablo, you look at a guy like um, those young rookies, right? You be like, you kind of not missing some of the people you had here in the past. And I don't want to say anything, but like Troy Anderson is on the pup list. We're not missing Troy Anderson at all. I'm just telling you that. I think him coming back can actually make the team even better, right? Because the speed he shows on the field as well. But the fact that these Atlanta Falcons um, come out and they're second in team defense right now. That's how well they're playing, guys. Yes, they're 1-1, but they're second in team defense. So um, just outstanding football that we've seen from these young guys. You know, those are the good things, right? 6 sacks. Let's talk about it. 6 sacks, 3 turnovers. I mean, at one point they were saying the Atlanta Falcons had a 60% pressure rate. That's the highest in NFL history, guys. That's what we're seeing for Atlanta Falcons. They are getting after the quarterback. Jeff Ulbrich, Nate Ali said it, right? They're going in the dark room, right? And so far, we're starting to see the identity. Raheem talked about he did not want to see the identity of this team. He wanted the team to show his identity on the field. And right now, that's what we're seeing. So that's good. Just 2 weeks in, like I said, don't get too high. Stay neutral, right? Stay right here, guys, because they got to kind of keep that thing going on. Let's see. EQ says O-line can give MP9 more time. Yeah, man. We're gonna get to the bad in just a minute. Carl Thomas said way too much talent offense, not the average 30 points point. Yeah, we're gonna get to the bad in just a minute. 20 to 25 Atlanta draft class might be legendary. Hey, you might be right. I'm not gonna even lie, man. I mean, just 2 games in, man, you might be right. You know, it's going to be worrisome though. I'm just being honest with you. When you draft 4 guys in the same draft class, man, you got to start paying some of those guys. It's gonna suck in a minute here, right? Yes, he been on double move. Yes, he did. Talking about Xavier Watts. Yeah. Coach said day to day for JS. Who injury? Who is JS? Yo, who is JS, man? Let me know. Oh, you probably mean AJ. Yeah, you probably mean AJ. I'm thinking that's who you meant because that's really the only person that took an injury in the game was AJ. Guys, like it's really nothing else we can actually say about you know about this game, man. It was outstanding. The run game was excellent. Um, the offensive line played really well in the run game. I said the run game. They played really well in the run game. Um, um, let's see. And the defense was just shut out, lights out, man. Lights out. I'll be honest with you. I didn't even realize that was the Atlanta Falcons defense out there. I can't remember. It's been years. I mean, it's been years since we've seen the defense for Atlanta Falcons play the way that their defense played last night. It's been years, guys, and I'm not even bullshit. It was that was something beautiful to watch, and I ain't gonna lie. Man, it was just so beautiful. Yeah, I figure you're talking about AJ. Hopefully he's day to day. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna play, man. The way he grabbed it and he pulled up, yeah, you don't want him to rush back either because the hamstring injuries could linger all year. That's gonna be worrisome though. So they might have to change the way they played because AJ is not gonna be in the game. So don't like that thought of that, but at the same time, um, you know, that's why it's the next man up mentality, right? Thought D Alford came out and played really well, in AJ's absent in the second half of that game. All right, let's go ahead and do it. Even though it's Victory Monday, we got to talk about the bad, right? Let's go ahead and talk about it. We got to talk about the bad. So let's start with offense because it's not a whole lot to say about the defense. Talk about little things, but I'm not going to say anything bad about defense. I just can't, man. I think they played really well. You're going to give up some plays, but for the most part, I thought they played well. They hold the team to 198 yards, 6 points, no touchdowns. In their home opener, in the atmosphere like in Minneapolis, I'm not going to say anything bad about defense. So they get a pass for this week. If they made any bad plays, okay, they get a pass. All right, let's go to the offense. That's where we had our issues, right? Let's start off with just the atmosphere to start the game, right? I thought Atlanta Falcons probably could have scored a touchdown in that first drive, right? Bijan dropped the pass. The getting the play in, like it was it was killing me that they was getting out the huddle like at 10 seconds. You cannot get out the huddle at 10 seconds when you playing a team like coach like Brian Flores because he's gonna give you looks. You have to get a quarterback time to be able to scan what the defense doing and make the adjustments, make the calls they need to make sure the center understand the right protections that was going up, right? But a lot of times Zach Robinson was getting that play in too late to Michael Penix, and it was rushing, right? And I thought early in the game it kind of cost us for putting more than 3 points on the board. We was able to still put points on the board, but I thought, we had to call an early timeout. So to start off right off the bat, um, we didn't handle the atmosphere early in the game. We just didn't. They settled down. Glad they got things going, but for the most part, I thought that was really scary, and they got to be able to do better than that, right? Because you're going to play in hostile environments all throughout. So one thing they got to do, make sure that they're able to manage loud crowds and things like that. They settled down, but at the start of the game, it was kind of shaky. And he got to get the play in. Got to get the play in. You want to get that play in with like 15 seconds left on that play clock, right? And so Michael Penix have time to look over the defense, make the adjustment calls and stuff like that. Make sure the center can get the protections locked down to the fellow lineman. That's what needs to happen. So we got to be able to do that, do better with that, right? That's the first thing. Of course, the second thing is the red zone. The red zone was just terrible. We was able to put up five field goals, which is great. That's what we wanted to see. My last key on the special team was to gain confidence in the kicking game, and that's exactly what they did. It's just simply that 5 for 5 in a hostile environment. Um, Raheem already said that Romo is probably going to be 90% chance he's going to be the kicker coming up for the Carolina Panther game. And that's no surprise because the performance he put on the field the week prior. So there you have it with that. So um, the red zone was just terrible, man. It's no other way around it. It seemed like Zach Robinson's still trying to get into form. We had somebody mention that we should be able to score 30 points without a talent. I agree with you 100%. But the hardest plays to make, and that's why a lot of teams situational football, right? Situational football is the toughest, right? And that means third downs, fourth downs, and then in the red zone. Those are hardest plays to make. All right. And that's why you look at statistics and teams that have a really good average on third downs, have a really good average in the red zone, putting touchdowns on instead of field goals. Usually those are teams you see in the playoffs, right? So Atlanta Falcons got a lot of ways to grow in that, right? Now we can contribute some of that to the atmosphere. Like I said, Michael Penix just making his fifth start. So it's like we knew it was going to be some growing pains in some situations, things like that. But Zach Robinson got to do better. Now he did make some adjustments, right? Short yardage. You see, he put Michael Penix up under the center a lot more, not in the pistol, trying to run short yardage. They did make adjustment. They started to use our tight end as a fullback, and the running back lead them in the hole. So it was some plays. You can see the adjustment that Atlanta Falcons decided to make, which is good, right? From week 1 to week 2, we saw the adjustments made, but now they got to be able to put more points on the board, right? The way that defense was playing, it seems like the Atlanta Falcons offense was going to let the other team back in it because you don't expect the defense to just go out and you know do a complete shutout. They almost did now, but you don't expect that. So the Atlanta Falcons offense got to be better, man. It's just got to be that simple. Um, the red zone was bad. The offensive line and pass protection. Um, Look mostly on stunts, right? Like they didn't have the communication piece there. That's why I mentioned about getting the play in sooner so they can make sure they got their you know their protection set up. One of my keys was protection plan for the quarterback in the passing game, right? They did not get that done. Um, that's why you didn't see any down the field passes because a lot of times Mike Penix had to actually get the ball out of his hand to his check downs to get rid of the ball quick because he didn't have time in the pocket. So those are some of the things we need to work on from the offensive standpoint. The play calling, the red zone, and then pass protection, right? So you like the win, you like the W in the column, but at the same time you want to be able to grow and you want to be able to see more production in red zone. You want to see the 30-point games, right? Um, Not being able to score a touchdown until the fourth quarter is not going to win a lot of games for you. Just not. It's just not right. You can't expect your defense, like I said, to come out and pitch and keep the other team out of the end zone the entire game. So it's a lot that the offense still need to be working on. Now I'm not really too much concerned because we've seen it at its peak a couple times last year. You know, with Michael Penix as well, went to the last game of the season. You go to the Commanders game, the second half. We've seen the way this offense can perform. So I'm not too concerned, but at the same time, um, on a win, you look at those things to try to clean up. And red zone is definitely one. We can even talk about third down. There was only 6 for 15 on third down. That's under 50%. You gotta at least be at 50% if you're gonna have success, right? Numbers don't lie. It just tells you the more you able to get to those right numbers, you'll be good, right? We won the turnover margin, right? 3 turnovers to 1, right? That's how you win games, right? So we won a lot of categories this game. That's why the Atlanta Falcons came away with the win. But you can't be satisfied with the performance from the offense in the red zone on third down, pass protection. They got to clean those things up. And Zach Robinson needs to make sure he call a game that's going to get his players, in rhythm, get his quarterback in rhythm, right? Like I said, for the most part, Drake London and Darnell Mooney was quiet in this game, and it's probably to design of what the Minnesota Vikings how they wanted it. But at the same time, you got to be able to get the body playmakers. Now, luckily, we got a two-headed monster in the backfield that saying that if you ain't gonna let us pass it, we're gonna run it down your throat. And that last drive from the Atlanta Falcons, that 4 minute offense that they had, and just ate at the clock, and Minnesota Vikings scored because they were trying to get the ball back, but it wasn't gonna do any good. So let's see. Got some more comments here. It says, "What's happening, Ricondo? The Falcons dogs? Yes, man. Nice game. Nice game." We say the Falcons will call up C.J. Henderson and Kobe. They're gonna have to, man. That's why they're on the practice squad. Definitely see both. One of those guys be called up this week. AJ is gonna be out. Um, I want to see Michael Penix on the center more and run a better play action. Yeah, I agree. But last night I don't think they was coming, man, because they was even run blitzing, right? They was run blitzing because they couldn't stop the run straight up. So they was run blitzing. So I don't know the play action, how effective the play action would have been last night, because like I said, the pass protection was not that good. But you're right. The way we was running the ball, you would have thought you would have saw more play action pass. We just didn't see enough of that. So we got to be able to see that. 3:30. Yes, right. Ricondo with another video. Um, Zach shift gears in the fourth. I think he got a call. Yeah, they played so much better, man. They really did in that fourth quarter. That 4 minute offense, which is outstanding. Just run the ball with Tyler. He said, "It's going to reclaim the Falcon family. New era is here. Falcon will rise. 25 beyond. The team handled business and got the W." That's right. That's right. Um, why was Kurt wearing a helmet on the sideline like he was going to get into the game? I don't know what that's all about, man. It's like he was standing out to himself too. And then the question I got, why they kept putting him on the screen, man? Like, okay, how many times you seen the backup quarterback? They're trying to create a narrative. I get it, but as long as Michael Penix ain't hurt, man, Kurt ain't getting the game, man. It's just that it is what it is, man. It is what it is. So, and it's a lot of quarterbacks, to look at Joe Burrow, but I don't think they're gonna. I don't think they're gonna, try to. I think they're going with Browning. He has experience playing when Joe Burrow go out. So anybody asks me if they think Kirk Cousins get traded, I don't think so. Right? Look at JJ McCarthy. Atlanta Falcons put him on the shelf for a couple of weeks. It looked like he got a high ankle sprain, so he's not gonna be able to go this weekend against the Bengals. Oh, the two teams just talked about. They both gonna have their backup quarterback in. So, but no, I don't think they're gonna. So for anybody else, I don't think Kirk Cousins is gonna get traded anytime soon. And matter of fact, Atlanta Falcons put out a statement saying they're not looking to trade Kirk Cousins at this moment. I like Zach implemented Warner at the fullback. Yes, man, that was really nice wrinkle. That was and I mentioned that. I don't know if you was here earlier, but I did mention that. You know, they had short yardage. They put Mike Penix up on the center a lot, right? They put him up on the center. They had Warner as a fullback, lead back. Um, short game was really a short game for the Atlanta Falcons was really good, right? Of course, they didn't have Vita Vea to heard about, but yeah, man, you got to like what you've seen from that game. They thought Kirk was going in once he went up a score. I don't know what they will think about Kirk, man. He wouldn't get in the game. The quarterback for Washington might be out the next couple of games. Who? Jaden Daniels? What's wrong with him? Don't say that. Jaden Daniels is going to be out too. Falcons going to get some breaks. I need to take advantage of the opportunities. Let's talk about that. But guys, the bad for Atlanta Falcons definitely were the offense. What's the offense? 100%. Can't really say nothing about it. Teams was outstanding. He says knee. That's interesting. That's why you can't be running, man. Any quarterback be trying to run around. But I didn't want to leave out special teams, so let's talk about special teams real quick. Their coverage was 100%. Coverage was outstanding. Kicking coverage was just great. And then, like we said, 5 for 5. I think he would have got special team player of the week if it wasn't for Dallas Cowboys super kicker. Right. I also watched that game. 64-yard field goal, man. It's ridiculous. He made it look easy. We got kickers can't make 44-yarder. So, yeah, man. But special teams was outstanding. Way to bounce back. Because they had some issues in their first game as well. So, hey, special teams were outstanding as well. T. Terry says the defense is going to destroy the little man quarterback in North Carolina. You know what, man? We said that last game of the season too. But they do have offensive line issues. So I'm leaning your direction too. So they still need them to come out. Don't get too confident, right? Because they still got to play the game. Whoever they put in the offensive line, 2 of the offensive linemen actually look like they're gonna be out a while. So we just got to see what happens. And we can be able to dominate the offensive line here on Sunday. We'll have to see though. Don't get too cocky, right? Speaking of that, the last topic I'm gonna talk about today, and that is, can they build on the game, right? And that's what you want to do, right? So you go out and you give up 260 yards, total yards in the loss, right? But you felt like you played well. You gave the game away because you didn't make your opportunities. Pretty sure that's how the Falcons were feeling in that game after going to the locker room last weekend, right? And then you come back this week and you give up 198 points. You set the quarterback 6 times. You create 3 turnovers. You only give up 6 points total game, right? The question is, can you build off that, right? Can you create that identity that Jeff Ulbrich, Raheem Morris want to see, right? So far, it looks like you're heading in that direction. But I do believe that you can't afford to take a step back, right? We just injury situation in Carolina at the offensive line for the Panthers, right? Which is going to be huge for them, right? You imagine the head coach for the Carolina Panthers is going to call the game a little differently, where you got 2 starting offensive linemen down, right? The running game might be hindered a little bit. We'll just have to see how that pans out. But the Atlanta Falcons have to take opportunities of situations like this, and they got to build on the performance that they had, right? If you say you can get 6 sacks, right? Why not get 7, right? If you can get 3 turnovers, why not get 4? I mean, just build on this opportunity that you have in front of you, especially like I said, it's early in the season, but when players are out, you need to take advantage of that, right? You need to be able to string some wins together and see what this team all about, right? I think for the most part, one of the issues we had for the last four seasons was the quarterback play, and as of late, we had to say that the quarterback has been putting the ball in harm's way or anything like that. So we got to build on this. Just got to, right? That's got to be the mindset. That's got to be the way they're looking at it. Um, I'm definitely going to come back and talk about my keys to victory. But simply as this is the main theme for this week, in my opinion, should be for Atlanta Falcons: build on the momentum that you gain in prime time. It's just that simple. Just that simple. Just that simple. That was last year, bro. We got pass rush now. Yeah, man. You're right. Pass rush deadly. Pass rush is deadly. 100%. 100%. Um, so that's the question, guys. Can they build on it? And inquiring minds wants to know. All right. So last thing is let's talk about Bijan, right? And Bijan is on a rate to do something real special this year. He already got 268 yards total offense so far in 2 games. Um, man, the guy is outstanding, man. I don't know if you guys remember that one play when I think he missed like four players on one run, right in the pocket there, and he almost got that first down. He got started short, but just amazing, man. And he's definitely him, right? His ability to make guys miss, his contact balance is outstanding, and I still believe he's still just scratching the surface of what kind of running back he can be in the National Football League. So, he is him. He's him, right? And the beauty of it is that he don't have to be that complete bell cow back for this team, right? Because I just talked about he had 22 rushes, Tyler Algier had 16. That is great balance, right? And Bijan still was outstanding, right? So it's not like you're taking something away from you're probably your best player on the team in Bijan Robinson, right? When you're sharing it with a guy that could definitely be a starting running back in this league, and Tyler Algier. So, um, but Bijan is him, man. He is him. They need to make sure that he stays, you know, um, fresh, right? That's why you keep out Tyler Algier in the game and things like that. But man, he's outstanding, man. He's set up his block so well. You can tell the vision that he's starting to show throughout these games are just really good. You love it. You really do love it. So you got to tip your hat off to the Atlanta Falcons. Um, P. Terry said the Falcons have to put on the NFL on notice with that defense. I hope they have, man. I really do hope they have. You know what? I ain't gonna lie. I think the Atlanta Falcons play really good in primetime games. They know the whole world watching, and nobody know who these guys are. I guarantee you, people know who Bijan Robinson is, Michael Penix, the way he played. Mm-hmm. Then our kicker, our kicker, and man, it seemed like a buzzsaw. Those guys coming off the ball last night. Leonard Floyd, Ryan Diablo, Caden Ellis, Rukororo, Brandon Dorless, James Pierce Jr., Jalen Walker, Billy Bowman, Devon Diablo. Yeah, all those guys put pressure on the quarterback last night. All those guys are just called out, put pressure. David Amayada, and we forget about him. All those guys put pressure on the quarterback last night. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, I forgot about Armor Educate. I'm sorry, Armor Educate. I forgot about Zach Harrison. Sorry, Zach Harrison. I forgot about all those guys put pressure on the quarterback last night. It's like 11 guys. Think about it. Just say Jalen Walker, James Pierce Jr., Brandon Dorless, Ruko Ororo, David Amayada, Caden Ellis, Devon Diablo, Amber Ebikadi, Leonard Floyd, Billy Bowman. Man, all those guys put pressure on the quarterback last night. It was outstanding defense call by Jeff Ulbrich. Um, man, man. Now we are gonna have some questions because one question is AJ Terrell status, and it it's gonna not allow them to play the kind of defense because if you've seen how they played in the first half, they was putting AJ out there on the island by himself pretty much, and then they was able to put pressure. They was bringing that 5-man front, bringing Caden Ellis down, right? So I don't know if they're gonna be able to play like that. They play a little bit more zone in the second half because AJ's out. But it seemed like it still didn't hinder them from bringing the pressure. And that's what you want to see. Now we know Jeff Albrecht want to usually want to get home with his front four, but him, calling pressure plays have really been working. And especially put the pressure on Bryce Young this weekend. That's going to be really, really exciting, man. T. Terry says Bijan will have 15 rushing yards and 1,000 receiving yards. You might be right, man. The way it's looking right now, he's on pace to do something really, really special, man. You are correct. You are correct. EQ says, I got to tell you that was funny when the Minnesota moved before the snap. And number 54 was laughing at the O-line. Yeah, man. He was laughing because he was like, yeah, we was coming, boy. Yeah, we was coming. And it got caught on the mic too. It got caught on mic. Yeah, that was funny. Yeah. Brandon Dort's like, yo, we coming, buddy. You better move. So Harry looked like a monster coming off the end. He almost knocked JJ. Oh yeah, man. That's probably how he got an ankle sprain. Because if you go back and look at it, it kind of got bent back like that. So, yeah, man, you're right. Zach Harrison looked like a beast. And only one person I feel bad for, man, it's Grady. I feel bad for Grady a little bit because just imagine if we had Grady here, he can be part of that. Now some of these guys might have less opportunities, but so let Grady go on and do it. I'm pretty sure he don't like the turn of events what's happening up there in Chicago, right? And he's looking down and see this ferocious Atlanta Falcons defense, playing balls lights out and stuff like that. So, man, I'm excited to see what happens to this team. So, definitely can't wait to see what happens. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But guys, great game yesterday. We on here Victory Monday. Like I always say, when Falcons win, the week always feels good. Right? So everybody should have a pretty good week this week. Enjoy this Atlanta Falcons win. And let's see, can they build off of it, man? Right? You can't take one step forward and take 2 steps back, right? So can't because that's definitely what happened if they lose this weekend, right? It's a divisional opponent. It's their home opener, right? So Carolina, like we keep playing teams their home openers, but we playing Carolina home opener. They offer, right? They had an outstanding run to try to come back yesterday, to pull off the win, but they was not able to accomplish that. So definitely gonna be hungry to get their first win of the season, especially against a division opponent in Atlanta. So Atlanta Falcons need to be, on high alert and make sure that they execute like they've been doing these first 2 games. Let's see, can we get the passing game going a little bit better? Let's see, can we do better in the red zone, because that's going to be really important. Let's see, can we protect Penix a little bit better? So it's not like they had a perfect game. They got a lot of things that they got to grow on, a lot of things they need to work on this week to be better. But the fact that the Carolina Panthers are hobbled a little bit on that offensive line, Atlanta Falcons need to take advantage of that, right? Now they did make some additions to their defense. They got big boy coming back. Derrick Brown is coming back. He didn't play last year. He's back this year, so they're going to be a little bit more stout in the running game. I imagine Derek Brown out there. They made a couple more additions on defense. So, just like they're not playing the same team they played last year, we're not playing the same team we played. So it's going to be some additions. But the issue with them is their offensive line is took a huge blow this past week. They're losing 2 offensive linemen. So that's going to be huge for those guys. I think the center is one of them that's not good. So the Falcons need to take advantage of that. It's simple as that. There's no other way around it. We got Carrie. What's going on, Carrie? Let's see what she had to say. I recall the victory Monday. I'm so happy for us Falcons fans. And this defense can't wait to see us play again on Sunday. Hope we dominate the Panthers after all the trash talk their fans were talking this offseason. Yeah, man, I'm still trying to figure out why they fans are talking so much crap, right? They beat us at the end of the season, but it's not like they blew us out, right? It was a shootout. Our defense sucked. And believe me when I tell you, we don't have the same defense. That defense I saw last night, man, just like you guys said, they put the NFL on notice. They coming, man. Them boys coming. Did you hear that all the names I just called out that got after the quarterback last night? Like 10, 11 guys. That's insane. That's just insane. All those guys put pressure on the quarterback last night. And they ain't stopping. You heard it all summer. They relentless. They coming. They going in the dark room. You keep fresh bodies out there. That's what we seen all summer. That's what we seen in these first 2 games, man. We was not able to capitalize on the in game 1, and we was able to get the pressures right. We was what, 3rd in pressures in week 1. We just was not able to get home. This game we got home. It's just that's like you have to execute. And once they start to get their rush plans together, make sure they get home, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. So we seen the consistency pressure 2 weeks in a row. Difference was we got home this week. EQ said, let's keep the intensity up. What we seen yesterday throughout the rest of the season. Most definitely. Pass blocking got to be better. Passing the game, red zone, Penix special. OC got to do better. You hit everything on the nail there, Carl. 100%. I agree with you. OC, passing game. We got too many explosive players not to get our passing game going. We got to take advantage of that big arm that Michael Penix got. We just ain't had a chance. And I can't say this, and I'm going to say this. The 2 defenses we played in game 1 and game 2 is some of the 2 best in this league, right? And they just saw it. Their defensive coordinators are savvy. They're really good scheming up against young quarterbacks, and that's what we seen, man. It's just the way it is, right? Now we got another DC that's pretty good coming up here, but I don't know if they're as good as the 2 we seen the first two weeks. So, and the adjustment we made from week 1, let's see, can we make a better adjustment? But we got to get the offense going. It's no other way to look at it. We got to get offense going. Carl said the defense is special. Yes, it is, man. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So, guys, there you have it. The week 1, the victory Monday recap. Defense shine in prime time, right? And like I said, Bijan, he's him. That's who he is, man. He's him. He's him. He said, can we put pressure on the Bills quarterback like that in his game if we in it? Yeah, man. And that's a man child there, man. That's a big boy. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see. But if we can bring pressure on him, that could be a statement game for the Falcons. I'm just gonna put it out there. That Monday Night Football for the Atlanta Falcons could be a statement game. Just saying. Just saying, man. All right, thank you guys for tuning in tonight. All right, be back sometime this week. I don't know what I'm gonna do it. Maybe we'll see, because I usually do it on Wednesdays, but I might not do it on Wednesdays. The keys to victory for the Carolina Panthers game. I might wait till the injury report come out and see what AJ Terrell status is. Like he's gonna be day to day. We'll see. long rushing back. That's a soft tissue injury. We don't want him to be hindered by that for the rest of the season, right? I think somebody mentioned bringing in, raising up Kobe Bryant, C.J. Henderson, both of those guys. See what they could put out there on defense. The offer didn't play bad, but I'm still nervous to have him out there and to be that corner on the other side of Mike Hughes, man. That'd be kind of scary. I'm not gonna even sit here and lie. So we got to make sure we solidify the defensive backfield for this team. Hey guys, there you have it, man. Victory Monday. It feels good. The rest of the week, we all gonna be up here. Before I leave, I gotta say this. We won a game, man, and our fan base, I love us, man, because we just won the Super Bowl. We all happy. It's just one game, man, but it feels good. It really does. I'm not gonna sit here and try to sugarcoat it. We got a long way to go, right? We seen this before, right? We seen it last year. Lost first game, won the second game. We ended up 6-3, and then we commenced on losing 6 of the last 8 games. So we can't get too high. All right. Let's just, like I said, stay even keel. Enjoy this. If you listen to the players, it's a 24-hour rule. You flush it and go on to the next week. And that's what you got to do in the NFL. Any given Sunday, any NFL team come out and slap you in the face, and that's what we don't want to happen. Atlanta Panthers team. Right? So there you have it, guys. Victory Monday. This is your boy, Rick, coming back at you with another video. Peace.